What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm here doing 1UZ stuff on the Lexus. Today I'm going to do some repainting. I wasn't happy with how this came out. I like the color, but it doesn't go with the green. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna repaint this pink. We're gonna do some pink base with a cool pink pearl over top of it, and hopefully it looks pretty cool. The colors that I got, I like, and just haven't tried them out together. So we'll do that. We'll get these prepped up and get these painted, and also want to show you some of the progress that I've done and had to kind of redo. But yeah, I hope you like today's video. Alright, so I'm just gonna take our covers off here, break them loose. And hopefully our next color looks jamming. Pop these off. Oh, one more. One more, it's a little bit smaller. Let's see here. Not sure why this one's smaller. I didn't have all the right hardware.
That's why. It's lunchtime.
Lunchtime. There we go. I'm not sure if I torqued these down or not. I'm pretty sure there is a torque spec, and we'll torque them back down to that specification. Nope, one more. Wow.
Rubber metal at the cap it.
There you have it. I also wanted to talk about a few things that I did to the engine bay, or at least, yeah, to the engine bay and whatnot while the engine was in there. I did take it back out. I don't know if I mentioned that a little bit ago. I did take the engine back out. The reason being is my throwout bearing was leaking, so I had to tighten up those lines a little bit. But also, since I pulled it out, I was able to do a few things that I wanted to do when the engine was in, but I didn't want to pull the engine back out and whatnot. So one thing you noticed in the last video, I had to move the engine and bang the shit. Excuse me. I had to bang the shit out of this here, and I just primed it. But since we pulled the engine back out, we threw some paint on it, and it looks good. I mean, it doesn't look good because I beat the shit out of it, but it looks better that it has paint on it and there's no primer there. Also, we got a fuel line here I bought from Jegs Performance, and it was a little longer than I wanted, but I was able to route it in a good way and have it work for me really nicely. And I also got this little guy here for my AN fitting. Forget where I got this from. Radium, that's where I got it. Radium supplied me with this little guy here. And also my buddy Yusuf made me, or had welded me, these AN fittings on the factory power steering line. So I'll throw up a few clips of him welding this here. Yeah, check this out. Looks great. It fits really well. And I'll cut to a few clips of him welding there, and then we'll get back to our prepping and painting. So we'll be right back after this short clip. another thing here. Another thing is our brake lines. So I was filming doing the brake line relocation or the ABS relocation, and it wasn't working the way I wanted it. I was gonna relocate the battery to the rear, and I just didn't want to go through that process. So instead of doing the ABS, I deleted the ABS and put the battery back where it belongs. It looks a lot cleaner, it's a lot nicer. What I did do is I took the factory brake lines and kind of rerouted them, bent them, and flared them and whatnot to work. So we have our front feed. This comes out this way, goes to our T. This one goes over to the left wheel. This one here to the right wheel. And then our rear feed right here, which I actually took off my Cressida shell because the line that I had and flared, it wasn't seating and sealing properly. So I just used that line. I already had the flare ends on it and everything. It's not as nice as I'd like it to be, but it works. So we go to our T here, our T splits off and heads down to the rear, our rear brakes. And I've already bled that, and the brakes are working just fine. So there's that. Now let's get back into our paint. I got the paint over here. It's a pearl mid coat, so it's like a pink pearl. And this here is going to be our base. Show y'all right now what it looks like. I don't have my little popper, so I'm using a clip tool. Here we are. Oh, not yet. I'll get there, don't worry. Doing this one-handed, so it's kind of hard. There we go. So that's the base I'm going to use. Looks a little brighter on the camera, but it's kind of a magenta pink color. We'll use that as our base and put some pearl on top. And this is the color, hopefully, that I'll be spraying the Lexus in. Something similar to this. So yeah, let's get it. Alright everyone, so I'm gonna mix up some paint. I've already prepped. I've prepped, I've cleaned, and I tacked it off. I prepped this with 600 grit and prepped it with our pre-cleaner and our tack rags. Now we're just going to mix up our base coat. Already showed you our color. This stuff is a 1-to-1 mixture. Got my little pint cups because I don't need a whole lot. So I'll do like an ounce of paint, and then I'll do an ounce of reducer. I'm using a medium reducer. There's fast, medium, and slow reducers. Fast, medium, slow, so that depends on your temperature that you're dealing with.
Almost screen over here.
Yeah. So depending on what temperature you're dealing with depends on what type of reducer you want to use. If it's really hot outside, you want to use kind of a medium reducer. If it's cold, you want to use more of a fast reducer. Well, hot, medium, slow, depending on actually what you're spraying. If you're spraying a whole car, you'll definitely want to use slow reducer. If you're only doing panels or small things, a medium or fast reducer will work for you. So 1 ounce of paint, so we'll do another ounce of reducer. Like I said, a 1-to-1 ratio. Get this mixed up. You know it's good when the paint drips off the mixer or the mixing stick nice and smoothly, or I don't even know what kind of word to use for that. But you want it you don't want it too watery, because then it'll be too transparent, and then you'll just be loading up coat after coat after coat. You want it to kind of be like the consistency of milk, if that makes sense. So we'll get this mixed up before I load that in my gun. I'm gonna mix up our mid coat. We're doing a pink base coat or like a magenta base coat, and we're going to use this wicked cool pink pearl. It's kind of hard to see all the sparkly pearls on it, but once I get it laid down and put some light on it, this stuff looks really, really cool. But it's almost the same color, which I'm actually surprised because the light inside of the paint store is kind of dim and it's hard to tell what colors actually are. Sunlight versus artificial light, you can have a big difference in color. So I'm going to do 1 ounce of this, a little bit more, that's okay. And this is also a 1-to-1 ratio.
Oh yeah, that's a good color. Dial the gun down just a little bit.
So, it's a good thing that I have my dad here with me. He's kind of like my quality control, because a lot of things I just kind of go through it and just like, meh. And then he comes around and just like, well, you got that there, Jimmy. You got that there, Jimmy. Hey, check that out, Jimmy. And then I have to go back and then actually make it look good. So, yeah, it's a good thing I got him around, huh?
Yeah, I'm no painter, but I can tell you when you fucked up or messed up something. And you're on.
Alright, so we got our base down. We did touch up the areas that were missing a little bit of paint. Now we got our mid coat in here. This is just our pink pearl. We're gonna lay down probably like 2 to 3 coats of this pink pearl, and then we'll throw some clear on it.
Let's get started. Quit painting my speaker. So we got a quick battery change on the camera because, yep, it ran dead. Here we go. And here we go. Liking this color.
So now we're gonna put some clear on it. Mix our clear up. We're gonna do 2 coats of clear. I did 2 coats of base, 3 coats of pearl. Then we'll do 2 coats of our clear. And if you've never done this stuff before and you want to take a try at it, you want to make sure that you do the correct flash time in between each coat, base coat, mid coats, or even clear coats. You want to have the right flash time, because if you don't, you put it on too soon, you'll end up having solvent pop. It'll be itty bitty tiny bubbles all over the place. It's just off gassing, and because it can't escape because you put too many layers on it, it's forcing its way out of the paint, so it creates little tiny bubbles.
And we got the sun going down, so the temperature's dropping.
What's up? We are back. Day 2. So I had to let the paint cure overnight, and this is my outcome here. Very pink. Very pink. So this will be going in here. I think that's a good contrasting color. Very bright green. It's very bright pink. So I got some covers already put on. And I'm not gonna put these on until after the engine's in, just because I'm not sure if they'll get hit or banged up or anything like that. I guess I could put tape on them, but I'd rather just leave them off, put the engine in, no harm to those, throw them back on the engine, and then it'll be good, be in there. I'll have to bleed the clutch lines, and hopefully those will be good for me and not leak, because that's what happened last time. So yeah, let's get that engine in. So I'm going to show y'all what this looks like out in the sun. Hopefully we got some sun out here. You can really get the full effect. This pearls, there we go, get some sun on it. Probably don't really get the full effect of the pearl, but I really like how it came out. Alright, so our engine is back in the car. Super pink. Super pink. Pink and green. I like the contrast in the colors. Super happy about it. So I'm just gonna button everything back up, power steering lines, get my brakes going, or actually not my brakes, clutch, get all that bled, and hopefully all of it goes to plan. We're having no more leaks, and then I'll be able to get this thing out of here and still waiting on that harness. I did message the company, haven't heard anything back. I will message them tomorrow, and hopefully they either have it finished or they get it going, because it's been well over, you know, 4 months since I ordered it, and it was like a 10-week time frame. It's been well over 10 weeks. I need my harness. Okay, so I'm gonna jump right back in here. Last little tidbits for today. I did put my condenser in and my radiator. I got a nice Mishimoto radiator. Got the fans on. Did some sprucing up on the little mounts here. We'll get those put in, and the front end will be pretty much together. Happy with how it's coming out. Super excited. So that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Today's been kind of a frustrating day, just dealing with this, trying not to scratching paint. I have to go back, touch up some areas in the bay. But all in all, today was a good day and got some progress done. So that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.